Hey y'all, this is Gail here in Southeast Texas, teaching gentle yoga for low back care. Some of the things we'll need today is a yoga block, a strap. Now if you don't have that stuff, you can grab a cat or a dog leash or maybe a rope tie or a long towel. That would work too. You can also, grab a pillow from a couch and maybe fold it in half, or if you don't have a couch pillow, maybe some two hand towels that are kind of rolled up together into a nice little bundle. So we're going to be kind of using that in our class today. So let me go ahead and get on over here to the chair. I might be showing a little bit more chair versions today. We're just going to have to wait and see. I know there were some folks that were asking for that, but here we go, standing up, moving the front chair out of the way. I'll come back to the front of the room during our guided rest and relaxation portion of our class. Again, keep everything between the easy and ouch. If it's kind of strange, weird, you don't like it, don't do it. That's kind of the rule of thumb in any class that you take. And if there's anything spicy, you can always return your attention to the tips of your nostrils and just listen as you breathe in and listen as you breathe out. It's kind of a redirection of senses when you do that. Sometimes it allows you to stay in the posture, sometimes not, and it's okay either way. So I'm going to squeeze my belly button towards my spine, bend my knees, hands on the chair, forearms on the chair, and I'm taking my leg that I favor the best, stepping it back, softly coming down to that shin knee. Now I don't come down on the other knee, so I'm going to tip over here a little bit, move my chair out of the way. We can use this at the end of class during the standing portion, or if you want to do some of your postures seated, that works too. Let's go ahead and come onto our back, starting with constructive rest posture. If you've got 5 minutes in your day and you're feeling kind of like, stuff going on with the backside, getting into this posture, staying there for about 5 minutes is very beneficial for like just kind of releasing tension from the body. Now make sure my block and my strap are close by, because invariably they aren't, and then I have to go hunting for them, right? Ooh, I just felt my back pop as I came down to the floor. That's okay. And just kind of notice how this feels. All the places are being supported by the floor. The behind, the feet, some of the back, the shoulder blades, shoulder, back of the head. For me, this feels really odd. So I will kind of roll a shoulder up and away to move the muscle away from the spine, because I've got scoliosis. And I'll do the same with the other side. Now, you can place your hands on your torso, maybe one resting at the belly button center and a little bit lower, and then the other one maybe resting on the rib cage and into the upper abdominals. But make sure the arms and shoulders are relaxed into the floor. Let's practice our breath to begin with. So we do breathing, mindful movement, meditation, guided rest and relaxation, and a gratitude practice in our Veterans Yoga Project classes. So let's breathe in through the nose and let the belly and the low ribs and the chest rise as you breathe in. So here we go. Inhaling. And then we kind of reverse that process. We let down the chest, the ribs, the belly. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine as you exhale. And again, inhale, belly big, ribs big, chest big. And then exhale, kind of reverse all of that. Relax those shoulders. And again, inhale, belly, upper belly, chest big. And then belly button towards the spine. Beautiful. From here, let's take the arms out at like about a 45-degree angle out to the side, kind of an upside down letter V happening here with the arms, back of the hands on the floor. And let's just take kind of wherever our head is touching the ground, let's turn our face to face the side of the body. So just basically a little head turn. And you're kind of noticing, okay, if there's any stuff going on with the shoulders, the neck, the back of the head. And then very slowly bring it back to the center. Now don't do this if it makes you feel dizzy. For some folks, this makes them feel dizzy. and we're going to drop it over to the other side. So just notice if the range of motion feels a little different. If there's some noise going on when you do the dropping the head out to the side, and then bring the head back to the center. Of course, this is a place where the babies rub their head when they're little babies, and their hair gets missing. This really back of the head there. Let's do that again. Drop the nose towards one side of the room. Again, noticing how this feels for the body. And then bring it back to the center. And then over to the other side. And then bring it back to the center and just kind of release here. From here, let's grab our yoga strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use your hands instead. And we're going to take one of our legs, squeeze the belly button, bring the knee into the chest. And let's go ahead and take the strap and place it along the bottom of the foot. I'm bringing mine more close to the ball of the foot. And then from here, just softly extend it out. It's kind of in between, foot towards the ceiling, foot on the floor. So that kind of that halfway point. And you're just noticing if you're feeling some sensation going on in the hip flexor and the quadricep and the hamstring, maybe in the low torso, the front body, maybe, maybe not. And then I invite you to bend the knee. Inhale, knee into chest. And then squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Extend that leg out. And again, inhale, knee into chest. So this is to increase your joint mobility in the hip, in the knees. Exhale, leg out. So you don't have to use a strap. You can just use your own body strength to bring the leg in and the leg out. I just wanted to show you that variation with the strap because some folks really like using the strap, and that's cool. I like, giving those options here. Whew. If you're seated in the chair, it's knee into chest, and then extend the back of the heel onto the floor, and then knee into chest with your hands back behind your thigh, and then extend that leg out. It's usually easier to do this seated in the chair with the strap along the bottom of the foot. Let's do two more. Here we go. My hips kind of popping there. And just kind of notice what's true for you too. If there's any conversation going on with the knees, with the hips. And then invite the knee in towards the chest. Hands underneath the knee pit if you're seated in the chair, if you're here lying on the floor, or the strap can be back behind the knee pit also. But we're going to let the foot kind of dangle here as we kind of point and flex the foot. Increasing joint mobility in that ankle. Plus, a lot of times feet are stuck in shoes, and so we get kind of like stuck in our feet, so to speak. So this just kind of makes this a little bit more mobile. And then relax and start ankle circles. So try to do it just from the ankle or the foot. Try not to have the whole leg do the circle. Make it be just from the shin, the lower shin down below. I don't think we can move the shin easily though. Whew. And then let's pause and reverse. So now my feet, they feel pretty stiff on the tops of the feet. And this helps also with that plantar fasciitis. And then let's just go ahead and bring that leg up into the air without the strap and just kind of shake that leg. And then shake it side to side. And shake it up and down once again. Make the toes wiggle if you can when you're shaking. Not that you wiggle the toes, but the movement of the leg wiggles the toes for you. Maybe. Again, depends how stiff those toes are, right? And then release this foot down to the floor. You want to take your hand and shake your thigh just a little bit more? Please do so. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to take that strap along the bottom of the other foot, squeeze your belly button towards the spine, invite that foot towards you, and then go ahead and extend that leg out. Ooh, big old snap there, pop too. And again, it's not pointed towards the ceiling or on the floor. It's kind of somewhere in between where it feels comfortable for you. Now with this or without the strap, let's inhale, knee in towards the chest. And then exhale that leg out. It may go a little bit lower each time. It may stay in the same spot. Inhale, knee into chest. Exhale, leg out. Again, you can use a strap or not. Inhaling knee into chest. Match your breath with your movement. Exhaling the leg out. And I have a little flex of my heel when I push that leg out. Keep moving, keep breathing. Notice if this side makes a little bit of noise as you extend that leg out and as you bring it in. So I kind of hear it, feel it when I bring the leg in, and I feel it, hear it when I bring the leg in. It's both ways. We're doing a couple of more here. Whew. And then one more. And then invite that knee in towards the chest. Again, the strap can be back behind that knee pit or your hands. And you're kind of noticing, you know, this leg, is it into your torso, into the low ribs, just into the hip crease. And we'll start that soft little point and flex of the foot. And you're going to notice, does this feel more stiff than the other side? Maybe. Maybe it's the same amount. So when I get that pacemaker replaced, that may be the 4 or 6 classes after that. That might be a chair-based yoga, back yoga class. So that should be very interesting, especially for those of you all want to try to do methodology like that, you know, all those options. And then ankle circle. Whew. Been taking a seated Tai Chi class, and I have really been enjoying that. And so some of those things we do in yoga too, it's like, hey, that's yoga, that's yoga. In reverse, other direction. Whew. And then let that foot relax just for a moment. Let's go ahead and extend the leg up into the sky and start that shaking. All right. Get that lymphatic drainage going on early in class, especially if you got any kind of burning sensations like lactic acid buildup. This is great for this. And shake it side to side. I always kind of laugh because it just feels so strange shaking it side to side. For me, okay? That's my problem, right? Go back to shaking it up and down. Try to shake it vigorously to where you kind of feel those toes doing their own thing here. Takes a lot of effort to make that happen on my body. Let me tell you that. One more good old shake, and then release it down to the floor. And then take your hand, shake your thigh. If you can reach it, yeah. And then release. I'm going to move this strap out of the way. And let's go ahead and do notice posture. So that means extending your leg all the way down towards the edge of the yoga mat. And then the other. And if you want, we're going to shake the legs side to side. So shake them side to side, and then maybe roll a shoulder up and away, and then the other, and just, you know, arms out to the side or resting on your torso. Notice how this feels connected to the floor. Whew. So already I'm feeling more connected with the spinal muscles into the ground. It's a little spicy for me today, but you know, with the breath, I think I can handle it. So squeeze the belly button towards the spine. We're going to slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, and then the other. Let me look at my list here. We have not done this one in a while. It's rolling bridge with a block posture. So grab your towel, grab your block, grab your folded pillow, and place, you know, about 6 inches in between the side of the knees. Okay, I got the good squeeze going on here. And I'm going to kind of walk my feet a little bit towards my behind, which is kind of tough to do with that block. I'm going to try to do this. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to press the back of the arms, the shoulders into the floor, arms down beside the body, feet firm into the floor. And with our inhale breath, we're going to make that belly expand. And you can take your hip points and tilt them towards your ribs. That's a little pelvic tilt. That helps to flatten the back into the floor, if that's okay for you. If you like the natural little curve in the spine to happen, the hip points stay where they normally are. Now I'm going to take the feet first and walk them in towards one another. So I get this good inner thigh, building my leg strength, my hip mobility business going on with the squeezing of the block. All right, arms down beside the body. Breathe in, tilt your pelvis, optional. And then as you exhale, press into the feet, press into the shoulders to raise your booty off the ground. Ooh, mine's barely coming off the ground. I'm going to squeeze my blocks super big right here. And again, breathe in. Exhale, roll your spine down. And just kind of release the back for a moment. If you need to kind of walk the shoulders away because you kind of feel crunchy, scrunchy on the floor, make that little modification. If you're seated on the chair, you're squeezing the block, and then you're not really doing anything else because it's hard to do bridge blocks seated on the chair, but there's probably a way. I'll try to figure that out. Let's do that again. Breathe in, tilt your pelvis, belly button towards your spine. Exhale, push into the floor. Maybe you've raised up a little bit, and I have on this one. Again, try to keep your nose aligned with your chest. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, roll your spine down. Now, I'm already noticing I need to walk my feet a little bit closer towards my behind and maybe kind of squeeze my block a little bit more. Again, all these little modifications make the poses a little bit more accessible. Let's try that again. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, tilt that pelvis, lift, contract that belly button as you exhale. Inhaling, stay here. That's the challenge. Exhale, release the behind, roll the spine on down. Let's try that again. Inhale, tilt your pelvis. Belly gets big. Exhale, squeeze that belly button, push into the floor. Press your hip points towards the sky. Maybe they press more, maybe they don't. Breathe in, stay here. Exhale, stay here. One more breath. Inhale, squeeze that block, stay here. Exhale, lower about halfway. Uh-oh. Inhale, stay here. Squeeze that block. As you exhale, roll the spine down. Beautiful. Relax the behind. Take that block out. Place it to the side here. Bring one knee into the chest. You may, adjust your behind a little bit when that happens. And then take the other knee into the chest. And a little side-to-side movement. And you can make it more or less. Kind of depends, how this feels for you, yeah? I've got my feet together and my knees apart a little bit when I do this because I got a little belly here, so I got to make some space for that. And you know what? Come back to the center. Let's place the hands either on the tops of the thighs or the kneecaps, whatever you can manage here, or again, back behind the knee pits, and bring the knees apart. And then we're going to draw circles to the outside of the room and then bring them inwards. So a little lubrication of the hip joints going on here. So the knees come together and they come apart. Whew. And you know what? Bring it back to the center and reverse. So push them away, go in the opposite direction. If you can't figure that out, just keep moving. So we're doing a little pelvic tilt when this happens too. Getting it all along the back of the pelvic girdle, as I like to call it. And then bring the knees together, ankles together, and hands really firmly on the kneecaps or the thighs, and draw tiny little knee circles. Knees together, knee circles. So we're kind of going on the inside of the pelvic girdle. And then, you bend the elbows, bring the knees towards you, straighten the arms, legs away. So you can kind of be slower in those places of challenge, and then reverse, go the other way. Get it going the other direction. I don't know, this just feels good. Can we stay here forever? No, we can't. And bring it back to the center. Go ahead and place a foot onto the yoga mat. Squeeze that belly button, then the other. And go ahead and slide the legs towards the edge of the yoga mat for your notice posture. I'm going to kind of pat that hip, shake that leg a little bit. Do the same with the other side. Wiggle that leg side to side, kind of move those shoulders. And again, just notice if there's more contact with the surface beneath you. And, maybe it's now the back of the leg, the quadrant hamstring. Maybe it's a lot of the calf. Maybe the back of the knee. Maybe. I don't know. And then maybe there's more touching on the back side of the body also. So just things to kind to observe here. All right, from here, we're going to squeeze the belly button towards the spine, slide a leg back onto the yoga mat, then the other, and we're going to make ourselves transverse the room to go over to sit on the chair. How about that? You're going to lift up the back side, turn, and I'm going to try to do this without going on my knee. I don't know if I can. Push your body up. I'm going to drag my chair towards me. We're going to do seated cat-cow and some other things. So I'm kind of getting up here, leg next to it, coming up, woof, standing up. I'm going to move my chair here. Might move a little sideways there. All right, make sure, of course, that your block and your strap are close by. Other things that we can do to help facilitate easing back pain is, of course, to work all the stuff with the hips, right? So we're going to grab our strap and basically step on our strap. And we have a posture that we do. It's called big toe hold. If you're lying on your back doing this, it's the strap along the bottom of the foot, and you're going to extend the foot out, and then try to have the top of the toes aligned with the top of the foot, the shin and knee. You may want to be on the edge of the chair because it might feel a little cumbersome for the hamstring if you have a lot of the hamstring on the chair. So you're going to take your hands and pull on your strap, and maybe bend your knee and then push the strap away. So I have the back of the heel gently resting on the floor as I push. Miss Vicky's doing a nice variation, leg up in the sky, but I'm really trying to keep my ears over my shoulders and my shoulders over my hips. So for me, when I raise my leg up, I always tend to curve to the back of the room so my spine's not in a good, tall mountain posture. But again, this is your bone building posture if you're doing this for easing osteopenia, osteoporosis, and that back of the heel is lightly rested on the floor. Then we're going to press into the other foot and shift the other leg out. Now this is where it's kind of, you need to have your behind placed on the chair kind of appropriately. So again, get into the nooks and crannies, leg on the other side. You can also, if this just feels a little too much, you can take your yoga block and place that back of the heel on the yoga block. I kind of like that version. Woo! Hello, tight calves. Hamstrings, quadriceps, everything being active. You can always have a bend in that knee or softly straighten. Bring that belly button towards your spine. If you can, keep it airborne. Bring that leg back to the front and then down to the floor. We're still stepping on the strap. I'm going to scoot it up towards kind of like the edge of my chair. And I've got a little loop on one end, so I'm going to just put my hand in the loop on that one end. Otherwise, you just grab it, right? We're pressing into that other foot, and we're going to do slide out to the side and back to the center. So this is your, I get in and out of the car movement. If you have back pain, you probably notice this right off the bat when you're the passenger or the driver getting in and out of the car. That's usually there's some kind of imbalance going on with your muscular strength. Now let's add some air to it by like hopping over a soccer ball. You can be nice and soft to begin with, but maybe you want to add a little vibrational movement to it. So what that means is stomping when you bring it back. So again, that vibrates up in your muscles, through your bones, bone building, excellent. And again, this is for easing back pain. Let's do two more. Whew, my husband's probably going, who's stomping? And bring it back to the center. Whew, and release. All right, now this is not going to be fun. I'm just telling you this right off the bat. If it's available, whether you're lying on your back, seated on your behind on the floor, or seated in the chair, we're going to take that leg that we just kind of worked with, bring it into your lap. It may be knee towards your chest. Okay. Then you're going to take your hands of the opposite, whatever leg is on top, the opposite hand, you're going to slide those fingers in between the toes. Mission impossible. Now, if you've got socks on, you're going to cup the fingers over the toes instead. So, that's an option if you don't want to do interdigits. And then I just kind of hold here at above my ankle as I kind of point and flex my foot. And I'm kind of doing a nice stretch on the tops of the feet. Tops of the feet? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my. So if you've got neuropathy, some little falling asleep feet, maybe some side effects of having diabetes, that kind of stuff, this is excellent. Just keep your feet healthy by getting some movement into it. Now, the fingers are still interlaced or cupped on top of the toes, and, we're doing the ankle circles, leading with that opposite hand with that movement. And then reverse. Oof. I can feel my toes popping. Oh my. Now I know some folks don't like to have their heart below their head or head below the heart or whatever it is. So typically I'd bring this down on the floor and do the next part. But we're going to do this seated in the chair. So we're going to take our thumbs and our fingers underneath and on top and just rub vigorously on that foot. Get the ankles too. Yeah, it's kind of like starting a fire with your foot. And if you are barefooted today, we're just going to kind of look at this in just a second. All right, now extend a foot, extend the other foot. Just notice a circulation foot versus the other. Mine are two different colors. One's like more peachy and the other one's like cold, cold pink. Oh my gosh, okay. We're going to do all that same stuff on the other side. If only I can remember what we did. So we're going to step on the strap on the other side. Again, if you want to prepare that block for the other side of the room, get it over there. And again, extend that leg out, be tall, maybe, move your behind a little bit. And again, we're pulling on that strap, and then I'm going to bend my knee and push into that strap, just gently, letting it rest there on the floor. Again, I'm trying to think about ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. And I'm using both hands because I really want to get into that muscular contraction. But that's just me. Now, I always tend to notice that my foot likes to go out to the side. I'm lining up the toes with the top of the room, bending that knee a little bit, and just pull, push, pull, push. It's a very much of a stationary movement, but I definitely, I can feel this in the shoulders when I'm using both arms, pulling and pushing into the strap. Good stuff, bad stuff. Hopefully it's something like that, yeah. We're staying in the posture a little bit. Also, if you are shoulders over the hips, sometimes this is a subtle back bend, and that kicks up the heart rate. Just notice if that's something that's going on with you. And then release. We're going to take this leg, squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Maybe you want to raise it up and bring it out to the side, rest on the block or on the floor. And you know what? I'm going to scoot over to the side of the chair to make this happen. Again, toes are aligned with the top of the ankle, the shin, the knee, and I'm pulling and pushing. Pull, 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 pull. The other foot is firm into the floor. It's grounded into the floor. It's kind of sliding on the carpet, but that's okay. I can kind of really feel that strength move happening here. Feel this in the forearms, by the way. Wow. Don't forget to breathe. That slow inhale, that slow exhale. You can do it's called the ujjayi breath. Also, that's just a fancy word for ocean breath. You make a little noise as you breathe in and make a little noise as you exhale. Was there a question? No? Okay. Hold this just for a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and release. Whew, bring it back to the center. All right, now we're going to do the sliding out to the side and back. So I kind of hold the strap a little bit different when I do that, and bring it out to the side and back. Have a bent knee when I do this, because we're going to be going into the air pose next in just a moment. Again, you're just kind of noticing, is there anything going on with the hip joint when you do this side compared to the previous side. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and add some air. You can be soft to begin with a lot of control. Just kind of notice, okay, kind of feeling all the nooks and crannies here going on with that hip bone. And then if you want to add some vibration, you stomp at the end of your air. Again, my husband's probably going, what? Belly button towards your spine. And release. All right, we're going to bring this foot on top of the other leg. And again, just kind of looking here, noticing if the knee is more towards the floor versus the other side. And again, that kind of depends what's going on with you and your back. And then we take the opposite hand of whatever leg is on top, thread it in between the toes, or take and cup on top of the toes. That works too. I have some folks that take yoga classes with their shoes on, so we can't get into the toes when, you know, they have their shoes on, and that's okay. We just cup the top of the feet. I'm going to have my hand here above the ankle and start that, point and flex. Oh, goodness. You can be as vigorous as you like. You can also be sweet and kind to yourself. That's perfectly fine. This helps with our balance too, to get your feet less stiff because of them, sitting in shoes. All right, now ankle circles. Lead with the hand in between those toes or cupped on those toes. Oof. And then reverse, go the other way. Oh my. And then from here, release from the toes. Usually I have people like spread out their fingers, but that's painful. We'll not do that today. Just take your hands and start a fire on your feet. One of the recommendations for trying to get better sleep is to make sure that you do like a warm foot bath, or you massage your feet, stick them in fuzzy socks when you get into the bed, or have a microwave little heater at your feet. That helps you to sleep better. And again, don't forget the ankles. And then compare the two. They should look a little different. All right. So next is going to be our oppositional reach and flowy cat-cow. So I'm going to turn sideways on this one, just because I teach it a little bit different when you're seated in the chair. So I'm sitting here at the edge of the chair, my knees at that nice 90-degree angle. Now, if you have legs that are of short stature, that's where 2 yoga blocks really comes in handy, because then you can, have your feet on the yoga block. But for me to do that, that means the knee is higher than my hip, and I'm trying to have it in alignment with the knee. So from here, sitting up nice and tall, think about it, ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hands on the thighs. We're going to breathe in, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, we're grabbing onto the thighs, elbows out to the side, hinge forward for that cow posture. Belly button towards the spine. Is that right? No, it's belly soft. Whew. Stay here, breathe in, belly soft. And then exhale, belly button towards the spine, tall mountain posture. Inhaling, stay here. Hang on to your knees, curve the spine to the back of the room, so there's that pelvic tilt going on. So there's your cat posture. Breathe in, stay here. Exhale, back to tall posture. Your tailbone kind of flares out when you do that. And again, inhale, belly expands. On the exhale, hinge forward. It's like a forward fold, but it's actually the cow posture. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, back to tall mountain posture. Inhale, stay here. Last time, exhale, curve to the back of the chair. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, back to tall posture. From here, Squeezing the belly button towards the spine, we're going to extend one leg out, the back of the heel, and then that same side arm of the leg that's extended out, you're going to take and grab the side of the chair and press firmly into the chair. Then with the opposite arm, you bring it up by your ear if it's possible, and then belly button towards the spine, lift the leg up, extend that arm towards the sky, be tall like a letter L. I can't quite do this one. And then release everything back down. Slide it back in. Let's do the other side. So we're going to slide the back of the heel out, grab the side of the chair. Again, you're trying to be tall in your chair when you do this. Press into the floor with the other foot. Go ahead and extend the other arm towards the sky. Inhaling, belly soft. Exhaling, lift that leg up. Try to have the shoulders in alignment with the hips. It's kind of tough. And then release. Beautiful. So one of the versions, like what you can do is stand behind the seat of the chair and go over to the side of the chair. Have the leg that's furthest away from the camera right there in alignment with the back spoke of the chair, fingertip on the chair. And then you're going to take that foot and bring it back behind you, and then the opposite arm up for that spinal balance, standing with the aid of the chair. So you're going to feel this a little bit more in the back side of the body, the booty also. And release. Now I'm going to switch over to the other side and do the other side. So I'm going to bring the other leg back. I'm on my tippy toe on this one. And then I'm going to lift my heel, squeeze that bun, opposite arm raises up. It can be a bent elbow or super straight arm, and release. I'm going to go back to the original side, do a couple of rounds, then switch back to the original side. So let's inhale, let the belly be soft. Exhale, arm and leg go up. Now if you can, bring the knee in towards the chest, elbow towards the knee. Inhale, back. Knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Inhale back and release. We're going over to the other side. Just a little bit of movement with this sequence. And the heart rate should be kicking up because there is a back bend element to this yoga posture. And again, opposite arm and leg out. Inhaling. Exhale, knee to elbow. Cross crawl. This is good for dementia prevention. Inhale, arm and leg out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, leg out. One more time, knee to elbow. And release. Let's come to the back of our chair or the seat of the chair and do our downward facing dog. So our hands are on top of the chair. I'm walking my feet back. We've got my knees nicely bent, and I'm bending one leg and then the other. This is called the wiggle waggle, just to kind of get into lengthening the spine. And release. I'll walk my feet towards the back of the chair. I'm going to turn that chair around. And the other version of your downward facing dog is, of course, the hands on the seat of the chair. Now I usually clasp mine. And, of course, walk the legs back. And for those of us that don't like to be on our knees, we can move this into plank. So I'm going to bring my tailbone and push it towards the edge of the room. I've got my knees softly bent here. I'm going to go ahead and bend one knee, lift the heel up on the other, and just kind of go back and forth here. Called walking the dog. Now I'm on carpet here, so my floor is pretty secure, but typically you'd have your chair on the yoga mat when you're doing this. And then bring the heels down, bend those knees, belly button towards the spine, shift to the top of the chair for your plank posture. And then if you can, belly button towards the spine as you bend the knees, roll it back to downward facing dog. Let's try that again. Belly button towards the spine, shift yourself forward into plank. And then bend those knees, roll yourself back. Beautiful. Let's bend those knees, walk the feet towards the chair. Once the shins are towards the chair, hands on the hips, Roll, hinge your body up. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now you can be standing behind the chair or beside the chair or chair out to the side. We're going to do that little 8 movement meditation that the Veterans Yoga Project likes our folks to do. So make sure your feet are pointed towards 12 o'clock. They're a little bit spread apart. We're going to shrug our shoulders towards our ears and then back behind us and then down. Oof. And then bring them forward. It looks really strange forward, right? And then back on up towards your ears, back behind you and down. Now let's reverse that. It's behind us now. Squeeze them up and then forward and down. So it's a reverse shoulder roll. Squeeze them behind you, up and down. And just shake it out. All right, so bend one knee, then the other. Just make sure you're not being stiff in your posture. And then we're going to bring our hands forward in tall mountain posture. So from here, let's inhale, gather our arms in. Exhale, rise to our shoulders. Inhale, expand outwards. Exhale, contract the arms. Inhale, flow it towards your chest. Exhale, flow it forward. Inhale, descend. Exhale, disperse out. Let's try that again. Inhale, gather it in. Exhale, raise it up to shoulder height. Inhale, expand outwards. Exhale, contract those arms. Exhale, in towards your chest. I think I got mixed up there. Oh well. Inhale, flow it forward. Exhale, descend. Inhale, disperse out. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to stand behind the chair this time. All right, so inhale, gather in. Exhale, rise. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, contract the arms inward. Inhale, flow it towards your chest. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, descend. Exhale, disperse out. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. One arm stays up, one arm goes on the hip. Inhale, really reach, 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 and then lean the side body over. Inhaling back on up. Exhale, float it down. Let's do that again. Inhale, circle both arms up. One arm goes really tall towards the sky, hand on the hip or down the leg. And then inhale, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, lean that side body over. Inhaling back on up, exhaling down. From here, let's go ahead and step a foot outwards and then lift the heel, turn the foot. So you've got one foot one direction, one foot the other. Bend the knee, start walking the foot towards you. Now, you can be here with the ball of the foot on the floor into the ankle. Try not to have the hip jutting out. Try to have the balancing leg nice and lengthy and long. From the pubic bone to the collarbone, lengthen up. Maybe arms can go up. Also bring the leg into the calf or the thigh, but not the knee joint. Try to avoid the knee joint. I'm kind of wiggly today. What else is new, right? And notice the dance of the foot if there is one. Again, think about lengthening up. Don't forget to breathe and release. Little movement here just a bit. And let's do the other side. So again, step a foot out, lift the heel, turn the foot, bring it in. Whatever you can manage here. Keep your posture nice and tall. Again, it's whatever you can manage. Maybe one side looks totally different than the other. and release. From here, feet parallel, looking like number 11. So let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows into our chair posture. Make sure there's space in between the knees here. And again, inhaling up, exhale, lowering. Firm feet into the floor. Here we go. Inhaling up, exhale, lowering. One more time. Here we go. Breathing in. And then as we maybe want to go back down to the floor, you can use your chair or hands on either side of the feet. I'm going to put a forearm on the chair and come softly down. Again, I'm going to tip over. I'm going to bring my block with me. Maybe keep the chair close by if I want to put my legs on the chair for that final notice posture. But we're going to do bridge block pose. A little different than rolling bridge. So come on down once again to constructive rest posture. Just kind of notice the surface that's supporting you here. If there's more surface connected to your back side of your body. And then let's take our yoga block, that couch cushion or that rolled up hand towels. We're going to slide the block underneath the back side of the body and rest your booty on that block. And then I'm going to walk my shoulders away because it makes me feel crunchy scrunchy here. And then my chin tucked in towards my chest. Now, I've already done a little bit of this, so the options are to raise a leg up into the air and then go ahead and just kind of shake that leg and then shake it side to side. And lower that one. Let's give the other one a chance to do the same kind of business. Again, raise it up. Now, if this is not, the block feels very uncomfortable for your backside, you can be in constructive rest pose instead and extend the leg up towards the sky. And shake it side to side. Don't forget the side to side business. And then I'm going to grab the sides of my block, belly button towards the spine, lift the other leg up, and shake them at the same time. And then side to side and up and down. Do what you are able to do at this moment. And then lower one foot, then the other. Then I'm going to take that block up and away, roll my spine down. Just kind of notice how that feels at this moment. Whew. And extend one leg all the way down. Shake it out side to side here. Let's do the same with the other one. Again, everything's between easy and ouch. So that kind of like gives you a little bit of grief, do less or don't do it, yeah? And then, kind of move those shoulders a little bit. Again, if you can, find your belly button and then place the hand kind of at the belly button a little bit below. And if you want to do the other one on the rib cage to notice the belly and the ribs rising. Or if you're more comfortable with the arms out to the side, and maybe legs on the chair, we're going to do that guided rest and relaxation practice. So I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that might mean for you. If you have a blanket, maybe you could place it underneath the bend of the knees. That often helps wonderfully for those of us with back challenges. And again, just get comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Maybe move a little bit side to side to make sure that back side of the body is comfortable into the ground. Or whatever surface is supporting you at this moment. Kind of shake one leg and then the other. So we'll do, it's called tensing and releasing as we continue to melt into the earth. So let's take our right leg, point the toes, tighten the calves, tighten the buttock. Inhale, tighten, tighten, tighten. And as you exhale, just release and let go that muscular tension that melt into the floor. Good. Let's switch from the right side over to the left side. Again, point the toe, squeeze the calf, tighten the knee, the thigh, squeeze the buttock, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Breathe in. Relax, release, let the tension slip away from that left side. Beautiful. From here, let's squeeze the hip points, the behind, both sides. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Breathe in, tighten, tighten, tighten. Exhale, release, let go of that tension. Just let it all melt into the floor. Beautiful. Now let's squeeze that right fist, tighten that forearm, that elbow, the shoulder, that chest. Tighten, 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 tighten. Breathe in. Exhale, release all the tension being held in that right side of our upper body. Beautiful. Now, switching over to the left side, tighten that fist, tighten the forearm, elbow, shoulder, chest. Tighten, 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 tighten. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Let the body just melt, melt, melt. Now this next part, you're going to squish up your face. So tighten your eyeballs, squish your nose, tighten your face, tighten, 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 tighten. Breathe in. And then relax, release all the tension held in the face, in the jawline. And we'll do one more. So tighten everything. Squeeze, tighten, ball fist, point toe. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Breathe in. Now release, relax, let go. All that tension into the earth. Just notice that you are breathing, the rise and fall of the body as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Notice when you're still that we still have movement. Maybe it's the belly, maybe it's the chest. As you inhale, as you exhale. Let's imagine we're near a stream of water. The water's so clear and crisp, we can see the rocks in the stream, the fish swimming. There's a grassy path on either side of this little stream. And we've got trees lining the stream. We hear the leaves rustling above us. We hear birds, maybe some little squirrels flitting from one branch to the other. And then we start to notice leaves falling from the trees and then landing into the stream. We notice it hitting the stream and the little ripples of the water. And then notice all those cares and worries on that leaf just going downstream. Again, relaxing, releasing, letting go. Breathing in this clear, crisp air. Noticing the smooth rocks in the stream, the fish, maybe even bugs on the water surface. Then from here, let's bring some movement back into our body. So whatever feels best for you. Maybe it's wiggling the fingers, the toes. Maybe it's stretching the arms. Maybe taking a big yawn here. Maybe do that again. Stretch the other side. And wherever you are in your yoga posture, maybe legs are on the chair, knees bent. Let's bring the feet back onto the surface and slowly, softly roll over onto our side body. When you're ready, you can take that top hand, push into the floor, take that top leg, extend it, and then slowly come up to an upright position. Now there can be this equilibrium shift. So let's just kind of invite our chin towards our chest, maybe hands resting either on our lap or our chest. Just kind of notice the tension in the neck, the shoulder muscles. And with that chin in towards our chest, let's just take one chin and roll it over to a shoulder. And then softly bring it back to the center. Let the weight of the head just kind of guide this, right? And we're going to take it and roll it softly, slowly over to the other side. And then drop the chin towards your chest once again. Bring the chin upward. Bring those arms into like a football goals and squeeze the shoulders wherever you are. Let's inhale, belly soft. Exhale, turn towards one side. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, back to the center. Squeeze, re-squeeze those shoulders. Breathe in. Let's go over to the other side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, back to the center. And place the hands either back down in your lap or, if you choose, back to heart center. In fact, let's do our gratitude practice now. I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest. You can have your hands together, hands stacked upon the heart, and think of someone, something, someplace that you are grateful for today, or have an idea of gratitude. Again, this nodding of your head towards your heart center is in gratitude for just you showing up today. So thank you so much for doing that. That's for yourself, your gift to yourself. And then you can either keep the chin towards your chest, eyes opened or softly closed, or you can bring the chin to look forward. And we'll end our class today. So, the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste. Which means the light in me honors the light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for low back care. I hope to see you signed in and joining me next week.